event, the U.S. missile strike on Syria scrambled the usual political alliances you may be familiar with. Senator Tim Kaine was the Democratic vice presidential nominee last year, and he's been a full-throated critic of the new president, but he does support the Syria operations, but with reservations. Senator Kaine joins me now from Richmond, Virginia. So, Senator, welcome, sir.
Hey, thanks, Chuck. Good to be with you.
Let me start with why do you support this action? I know that you have some legal questions about it, and I want to get to that right after that. But why do you support this action?
Chuck, as you know, I'm a strong supporter that the U.S. should take action to protect humanitarian causes like the ban on use of chemical weapons. And so I voted for a limited strike in August of 2013 to do exactly the same thing. And a limited strike for that purpose, for the humanitarian purpose, is something I would likely support if there's a plan. But where I differ from this administration, and I took the same position with respect to President Obama, we are a nation where you're not supposed to initiate military action, start war, without a plan that's presented to and approved by Congress. That makes us different than virtually any nation in the world. The idea of the drafters of our Constitution was that you had to put a check against an executive gone wild. We don't have a system where the president just gets to launch missiles against anybody they want to, and they haven't presented a plan to Congress and asked for our approval. That's what they've got to do.
But, Senator, in this case, it's very limited, number one. And number two, there were American interests on the ground. We have U.S. soldiers, special operation forces that are on the ground, very close to chemical weapons. If you're saying this action was illegal, then you must be thinking that the Libya action by President Obama was illegal, Grenada by President Reagan, that was illegal. Are you saying all of those actions were illegal?
Chuck, I was a Senate candidate in 2011 when President Obama joined military action against Libya for humanitarian purposes. And I said then, I agreed with the Republicans in the House that rebuked President Obama and said he had exceeded his authority because the U.S. was not under imminent threat. That's the only circumstance where a commander-in-chief can use Article 2 power without going to Congress if there's an imminent threat to the United States. And you just heard Lindsey Graham say that wasn't the case, and President Trump did not say the U.S. was under imminent threat. We had a briefing by the White House on Friday. They still presented us with no plan. We don't know if it's limited or whether there's more. And when we asked about the legal authorization, they said they weren't prepared to discuss that, but they hope to discuss it in the coming days. Again, our system is we don't want a president, any president, just being able to start a war or launch missiles whenever they want. There's got to be congressional approval.
You heard Senator Graham, and he